You ever catch yourself having a full-blown conversation with yourself and then look around to make sure nobody heard you talking out loud? Yeah, me too. And apparently, we're not weird. We're just mentally superior. Okay, maybe not superior, but psychology says talking to yourself is actually a sign your brain is working really well. Didn't see that coming, huh? So here's the thing. While everyone's out here thinking self-talk means you're lonely or unstable, science is like, nah, your brain's just organizing information really efficiently. Let's break down the 5 insane traits of people who can't shut up when they're alone. Trait number 1. They externalize their thoughts to clarify them. So there's this thing psychologists call externalized cognition, which is just a fancy way of saying your brain understands stuff better when you hear it out loud. You know when you're reading something important silently and your brain just glides right over every mistake like it's trying to save time? But the second you read it out loud, suddenly every typo jumps out at you and like it's been highlighted in neon. Your brain needed the audio version to actually pay attention. This is why you count cash out loud like you're a bank teller. This is why you stand in your kitchen narrating your grocery list trying to figure out what you forgot. This is why you read your bills out loud and suddenly notice that random charge you've been paying for 6 months. Speaking slows your brain down just enough to stop it from taking shortcuts. Research shows that verbalizing thoughts activates your working memory and auditory systems, making everything more concrete and accurate. So if your thinking suddenly becomes crystal clear the moment you hear yourself say it, congrats. Your mind just needed to hear itself talk. Trait number 2. They rehearse conversations and social interactions. You know when you're in the shower having an entire argument with someone who isn't even there, rehearsing what you should have said 3 days ago, winning debates that will never actually happen? That's not you being dramatic. That's social simulation. Your brain literally thinks in dialogue. Psychologists say people rehearse conversations, debate decisions out loud, and explain ideas as if they're teaching an invisible classroom. This happens while organizing your desk, packing for a trip, or standing there replaying conversations and perfecting your comeback game. You're acting out both sides of the discussion, testing your logic, anticipating responses. And honestly, you probably sound incredibly convincing in there. Too bad the only witness is your shampoo bottle. This is mental rehearsal, which explains why you can explain something perfectly to yourself in the car and then completely fumble it when you're face to face with an actual person. Your brain was just practicing. It wasn't ready for showtime yet. Trait number 3, they regulate emotions through self-talk. Ever spill coffee on yourself and then spend the next 2 minutes narrating your frustration to absolutely no one? Walking around like, of course this happened, of course. Right before the meeting, perfect, just perfect. You're not overreacting, you're using effective self-guidance. Basically, you're talking yourself through your feelings so they don't just spiral out of control in your head. After stressful interactions, missing deliveries, or realizing you forgot something important, people verbalize what went wrong and what to do next. Speaking your emotions gives them structure instead of letting them bounce around like a mental pinball machine. Research shows that verbalizing stress actually engages brain regions involved in emotional control, helping you shift from reaction to resolution. So when you're pacing around, muttering about how you can't believe you forgot your keys again, you're not being dramatic. You're literally regulating your emotions. Your brain is using language as a tool. You're just really loud about it. Trait number 4, they boost learning and memory. Here's where people who talk to themselves really shine. If you repeat things out loud, you remember them better. It's called the production effect, and it's why you narrate recipes while cooking, rehearse presentations while pacing around, and repeat instructions to yourself like you're teaching a class. Spoken information gets encoded deeper in your brain than silent review. So if you've ever felt inefficient for saying things out loud over and over, turns out you are actually learning better than everyone else who stayed quiet. Research consistently shows this isn't coincidence. It's a well-documented learning mechanism. Your brain just prefers the spoken word version. Trait number 5, they hold their own intelligent dialogue. And honestly, for some people, talking to themselves is the only intelligent conversation they get all day. Not because they're lonely, well, maybe a little, but because it's the one space where thoughts feel uninterrupted and fully understood. This is self-referential dialogue, and it creates a private mental space free from judgment, interruption, or emotional risk. No one's cutting you off. No one's misinterpreting you. No one's giving unsolicited advice. In a world full of noise and shallow conversations, sometimes your own voice is the clearest thing you've got. And during periods of isolation, self talk functions as emotional self support, helping people process ideas and stay grounded when external reassurance isn't available. Psychological models suggest internal dialogue can temporarily substitute for social support. So if talking to yourself feels like the only reliable conversation you have, it might be the reason you're still clear headed in an increasingly chaotic world. If any of this felt a little too personal, it's proof your mind has been quietly organizing your life this whole time. If you enjoyed this little dive into human weirdness, hit that like button and subscribe, because we're exploring all the strange things your brain does when nobody's watching.